this could be a masterpiece. It's at least above and beyond. Alex Garland is kicking it. He's got 2 strong movies in the last year. This is him starting to really come into his own. He's delving into this personal experience, this understanding of what it means to be something. Last year it was journalism in a war setting. This time it's literally being a service member in a war setting. He is knocking it out of the park. Now, as far as the screenplays go, they are extremely interesting, extremely engaging. There isn't anything left wanting because you're just on it for the ride. And that goes back to his other movies, not just these. But this movie, Warfare, is something else. I wouldn't recommend anybody watching it that is got PTSD or has any like epilepsy or anything like that. There are definitely some people have said there's been some jump scares. That's par for the course when there's explosions, but something you will notice is that the sound design in this movie is so well done because it's not just trying to be realistic for realism's sake. It's also playing with the experience, like I said before, of those personal idiosyncrasies that come across when you get blown up or you get shot at. The M4s sound like M4s. The grenades sound like grenades. It's pretty amazing what the Foley artists and the sound design team really did with this film. And it's not just across the board with weaponry, it's also how they play with the tinnitus-like sounds, the high-end whistles or ringing that you get after those explosions, and then also how that plays into the subdued, oh, I'm underwater, or oh, this explosion has blown through my eardrum, like, and then that carries through with the camera movement, which is really fun because well, in the movie it's not very fun, but it's fun that they can play with that sound design to carry you through the moment of going from being blown up to being inside a house. The screaming addition of the guy who is in the most pain being dragged into the house is just gut-wrenching. It's well done. The sound design is well done. Conjunction with that, it's like the score overall is so minimal. Like there's very little music. I think the most music you get is in the opening scene where they're watching a music video from the 1980s, which again is just like wonderful to see the quote unquote experience of the service member overseas and what that might have felt like and how that built camaraderie, how your brothers are there with you all the time, but that's only good enough if they understand the situation, because later in the movie you see one guy come in from another squad that they know who's treating it with way too of a lackadaisical attitude, and that conflict is really apparent and really well done. In regards to more military experience, there's definitely a underlying critique. Actually, no, I wouldn't say critique. There's an underlying theme of how the military plays through these situations. It's very intriguing that they touch on this bureaucratic nonsense and that one of the squad leaders has to basically make a out of orders against his orders decision and make his soldier lie to get them out of there. And I think that the fact that those Bradleys were not going to come because the brass said it was too dangerous is par for the course for the military. And not that they're wrong. It's just that sometimes there's other options. And they play through that pretty well in the movie. The decision to save his guys was more important than losing his rank or getting court-martialed, whatever would have happened to him in that case. The acting in this movie, so good. Will Poulter can literally do anything now. I am fully convinced that Will Poulter will be multi-time Oscar winner in the future, and he is showing every side of what is possible in acting. And some people are saying online that most of it was psychological, and I actually think he might have been hurt. I think he might have actually had something in his ribs or his breathing that was off that kind of pulled him away from being able to focus on his leadership. It's just really nuanced. It's really well done. And there is that psychological component to it that he eventually says, I can't do it anymore, and gives it off to the other guy, which is eventually what gets them saved. That is good writing. That's worth seeing multiple times, right? As far as like my personal experience with this movie, it was intense. It was visceral. Definitely this generation's Black Hawk Down, and it is above and beyond the norm. It is a great movie, but it could be a masterpiece. It's somewhere in between those two, because I don't put it at masterpiece level because I don't see, I guess I don't put masterpiece on realism. Now, if you take it for what it is, as a war film, as a realistic movie, portraying something that these guys went through that are based on memories, that even has the little connection at the end to the real people, I could make the argument that it's a masterpiece. And it's definitely some of Alex Garland's best work. But it's hard to say once you start comparing masterpieces what they are. And if you're interested in how I rate movies or how I get these different levels of categories, you can check out my other video on that. So what do you guys think? What do you think is the quintessential theme in this movie? Do you think it portrays military life realistically? Do you think that Will Poulter's gonna get Oscars? Do you think that anybody in this movie is gonna get Oscar noms next year? Because it's possible, man. Like, some of those actors could get some supporting nods. Like, it's that level, it's that quality of output. I think that the sound design will definitely be in consideration. So yeah, what do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments. See ya.